Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys a brand new 2021 review. And today we're going to be talking about the new EP from the Devil Wears Prada entitled Zombie 2 or Z2, which is out now through Solid State Records. Now, for those of you who don't know who Devil Wears Prada well, you've probably heard them if you're into the whole metalcore scene. They're a metalcore band from Ohio, and these guys have been around since 2005. And I've pretty much dig everything that these guys have put out, even going back to their debut EP called Patterns of a Horizon, which is really hard to find. I mean, I don't even have it in my collection. But if anybody can hook me up, just let me know. And they've been putting out albums since their debut album, which came out in 2006. There was called the Dear Love of Beauty Discord, and then they put out Plagues a year later, and then in 2009 they put out their album With Roots Above and Branches Below, which in my opinion is probably their best work to date. And then of course this new EP, BEZ2, is sort of like a sequel to their first Zombie EP, which came out in 2010, so which is kind of interesting. And I feel like the new EP also kind of like fits like the whole vibe, especially with the situation with the whole COVID pandemic and everything that we're still in. I mean it's getting better as the time this is recorded, but yeah. And I just feel like they pretty much wrote it while they were in the whole pandemic, and it definitely feels like it. I mean, I know this was kind of like teased. I think it was on April Fool's Day, but then it wasn't until they announced it, and I was like, yeah, this is actually impressive. And like with every album, every release that Devil Wears Prada has, I think they've pretty much changed up their styles. They always take like a sort of like a different approach, or try to like experiment with their sound. Their set, like their more recent stuff being like their most recent album, The Act, was kind of like had some softer stuff but also more atmospheric stuff, but then there's some heavy stuff as well. So they also have like a good mixture of the heavy and the melodicness. And they also has that with Z2, but I feel like Z2 it's definitely a heavy as fuck release. Like, this is probably the heaviest they sounded since Zombie 1 in 2010, and which is fucking great. And just the production on this album is fantastic. I don't even know who produced it, but I just think whoever did it just did a really great job. And let's just talk about like the vocals, or just the vocal work in general. Mike Karanica's vocals, I feel like he's just gotten so much better. I feel like from the start of the band till now, I think his voice has just really improved a lot, and just his harsh vocals and just guttural screams and yells are really insane. And then the clean vocals from Jeremy DePoister, their guitarist. His clean vocals really just shine a lot, and I feel like he's changed a lot since Dear Love, and I don't even know, like it just sounds so different. If you listen to their first album to now, it's just almost like night and day. And I just feel like the vocals on this EP are a perfect balance. Like I think there's like some moments of heaviness while it is primarily screaming, but there's some moments of clean singing, and it's just really there when it feels like it needs to. The guitar work on this album is tight. I mean, Jeremy DePoister and Kyle Spures's guitar playing is really solid. Just the riffs and just the tones on this is fucking beefy and heavy. Bass-wise, this is actually the first release from the band to feature a new bassist, Mason Nagy, who replaced original bassist Andy Trick, and now there's only 2 original members left in Prada, being Mike and Jeremy. But Mason, I feel like the bass, he's kind of sticks out a little bit. It's a little bit audible in there. The keyboards from Jonathan are pretty great. Like, it really adds to the song. It adds a lot of like depth and atmosphere, right? And it just fits sort of like the whole vibe of the album. And drumming wise, Giuseppe, I'm not gonna butcher his last name, but I think Giuseppe does a really great job just pounding away on the drums. Yeah, and I pretty much rambled on for about 4.5 minutes, so let's just dive into this track by track. Now, starting things off is Nightfall, and this honestly, in my opinion, is one of the favorite songs that they've put out yet, or one of my favorites. And I just love like the tremolo picking straight into the chorus, and then there's a breakdown right in the middle. Well, at the end, it's just, I feel like it's going to go insane live. And then Mike just really sounds fantastic here. And the production also sounds a lot cleaner and tighter than the first Zombie EP, and the guitar work on this song is just much more melodic than their more usual stuff, and they don't do sort of like the low dissonant chugs. It's just really good shit, and I think it's a great way to kick off this EP. Then we move on to Forlorn. Now this has to be sort of like the most melodic and also heaviest moments on here, and I love sort of the chorus too, and it sort of like definitely fits with the sounds that Devil Wears Prada is known for. And around 1.5 minutes, almost 2 minute mark, there's like a part that'll just knock you down. It's just in your face and heavy, and then Jonathan also gets a spotlight on the synths, and it really adds a lot of element. Man, it also has some of elements that kind of reminds you of stuff from their new releases like Transit Blues or even The Act. Then next up is Termination, which is actually the first song released from this EP, the first taste of Zombie 2 or Z2 that we first heard, and it just, I think it's a great culmination of what the band is in 2021. Heavy, unique, and emotional, and just, I can fuck with this song so hard, especially that last part where it just goes, can you hear me, and then the breakdown just gives me chills down my back. And what a really great song. Next up is Nora. Now this pretty much has an eerie, dark vibe to it in the intro, and then the guitar and synth combos works really well here, and I wish they could use it a lot more in like future riffs. And this song also has like a little bit of a galloping guitar work, which almost kind of reminds me a little bit of Bleed by Meshuggah in a way. And this song is aggressive and it's just in your face for the most part, and the chorus clouds up in a bit, and then Mason has a good low end presence here, and it also adds a lot of like to the depth and the heaviness to the track. And then we close things out with Contagion. Now I really love the piano intro here. It's very eerie and it has some emotional vibes to it, and it sort of fits like the whole zombie apocalypse vibe on the EP. And it's sort of like the chorus has like a sing-song vibe to it, and is undeniably has a heaviness around a 2.5 minute mark, and then the breakdown here just blows me away, and Giuseppe just carries this track. He's just a great drummer and a beast. And I think Jeremy also sounds really great in the chorus. Like I mentioned before, I think the vocal work is just perfect blending of heaviness and then melodicness as well. Now overall, Z2 by Devil Wears Prada is probably the best they've sounded yet. Probably the heaviest they've sounded in over a decade. So if I had to give this EP a score, I'm going to give Z2 by Devil Wears Prada a solid 9.5, or probably even a 10 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of the EP, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.